That's 2K, so
Hello, everybody. We're getting started soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on the mic ahead. Don't be blinded by the Jeff or the Christian in your head. Keep your eyes on the shine ahead. And don't ever look back. Don't ever look back.
Because it's Bacalar. Come on to hate this song.
Yeah.
Oh, he did not like that one.
No, he was not standing for it.
Look, I'm not saying I'm still mad, Sean, but you should have played the chorus instead of the verse. It would have won him over more.
Was that not the chorus?
You played the beginning part.
you know my stance about this whole process. I won't repeat it.
Didn't you
Okay,
also
yes.
give it to me like literally 30 seconds before?
No,
the show
I don't.
started?
That's why I said I'm not. You did a great job on that podcast. That was very good.
Thank you.
All right, here I'll start complaining about the one comment on the Bombcast now. That's like, what do you mean you guys don't like Rogue Legacy 2? No one said that. We just said it didn't pop off like the first one. It didn't. It just no one talked about it very much. I liked it a lot. I beat it.
I heard that one.
Yeah, we just need to isolate that one.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. I tweeted. I think I'm ready. Wait, no,
All right.
music. Let me test the music, and then we'll know for
That's
sure.
the music, brother.
All right, there's that.
Hey,
How
you
you
guys
doing,
hear
everybody?
me? Start cheering now!
You guys probably didn't hear that.
Just talking to the audience. Shut the hell up, Christian. I mean, no, I'm glad you're feeling better. Glad you're
You want to see
feeling
my
better, buddy.
baby?
Your
Hey,
baby?
Definitely
You guys
not.
hear me?
Definitely
Start
not.
cheering
I'll show you
now!
You guys hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm ready. Wait, what about a baby?
Don't worry about it. I'm worried. I'm worried it's like
Don't
a
worry,
turd or
buddy.
something they took out of his body. I don't want to see it.
Anyways,
Starting in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with! Yeah!
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
We are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, some new N64 games just dropped on NSO. Nintendo said no to Fortnite. And what are you playing on your Switch in 2024?
N64 games.
N62 N64 games.
Oh wow. Okay. Did they pre-announce these? Because
No.
Oh, all right. Cool.
All right, you know, I can't wait. Let's do this real quick. Then we'll meander and talk for a bit. All right, 2 N64 games. Jeff, available April. Are they both April 24th? There's one. Both April 24th. The first one is Extreme G.
Shit, I could have used that on 420. Too bad.
Hey, Extreme G is supposed. I haven't played it much, but it's supposed to be one of the best racing games on there.
I like Extreme
obviously-
G a lot. Extreme G is very fun.
It's obviously like F-Zero X.
I mean, it's no aero gauge, but it's up there.
What is? And then Iggy's Wrecking Balls. The
Hell yeah.
one of the most, you look at that at the blockbuster video games ever. And hey, you know what? You can make jokes about Iggy's Wrecking Ball. I'm glad we're getting that cowboy game on NSO
Me
finally.
too.
Give me Iggy.
Give me Glover.
Me Buck Bumble. Give me Glover. Give me fucking Chameleon Twist. I want all that shit.
Yep, me too.
Desperately.
This is strange and fun. I'm glad they're doing this.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. I think that those are two fun additions. I'm glad that it's two at once. Yeah, just give me more. Just give me more. That's what I want.
Extreme G, was that Acclaim?
I believe I think these are both Acclaim,
Yeah,
actually.
man.
I feel like, man, you could I just hear the words Iggy's Wrecking Balls, and I just see the Acclaim logo.
Yeah, for me, I think that's Turok. Turok was Acclaim as well, right? At least
is it because it... Oh, yeah, maybe it's just because Acclaim's logo was an iguana for a bit, and this game's about an iguana who's also a ball, right? I don't know about Extreme G though. Let's see. But that's fun. I think Extreme G was Acclaim,
I think
so it's an Acclaim drop.
Yes. All right. Cool. Who owns Acclaim stuff now?
That's a good question. Yeah, right. Like, who did they have to talk to?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up right now.
I mean, I think their assets kind of just scattered across the wind when it went down, right?
Probably. It got an F grade from the Los Angeles Better Business Bureau in 2004. That's pretty rough.
Like the brand itself is owned by Collector Vision, just the brand though, not the IP.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the IP went to something called Liquid Media Group in 2018.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so that's concerning. But hey, I bet these games are, at least you can make deals with those people. They're probably like, oh, yeah, we own that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Listen, we would love to take this media and turn it into liquid assets. All right.
Right. Literally in the name there. Hey, that's fun. I'll be happy to check these out. Again, just give me more NSO games. I was looking at...
They bought that stuff in 2018 for $1 million. That's crazy.
I'd pay $1 million just for Iggy.
Yeah. I'd pay $1 million for Extreme G.
There's so many more NSO games I want. I was just watching You Can Be Video Games do like a guide for Light Force, which is the Gradius kind of spinoff on NES, and I'm like, why is that just not on there? Let me play Light Force.
Light Force sounds like a Christian themed game.
Yes, well, it was called Salamander in Japan. They changed the name here. I kind of like Light Force better. They also like changed the theming. They made it more of a like thing where like you're in the human body or you're in a body. It's all organic instead of space, and there's enough space ones. Although I think you still go to space quite a bit also. Jeff, how's it going? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. A bit busy. I was running around doing a lot of errands this afternoon after the bombcast. Kind of was nonstop. Did a meeting. And so then I'm like whipping right into this, trying to like get my head back on straight. But no, doing pretty good otherwise. The Mario fever has gripped this household in a way that I was not expecting. They like Mario. Addie plays Mario all the time. And now Emmy suddenly every day comes home from school, just will not stop talking about Mario. Here's Mario's favorite things. I think she watches these YouTube videos where it's like, what's Spike from the whoever the foreman is? What is his like favorite food? So she's like grilling me on all these pieces of trivia that are mostly made up. What's that?
The deep lore.
Yes, exactly. She's getting into it, and she's been like, okay, I need more Mario shirts than Addie has, and that's her big thing right now. And then I told her I had some old Mario wall decals that you could like put up and take down in here somewhere. So she had me like searching for those, and we put those up in her room now.
Man, that's why
it's getting wild.
I had Mario. I mean, we called them big stickers back then, but I had giant stickers in my room when I was young, when I was probably 4. So that's funny to me. Is she like playing the games a lot too? Because I know you were saying she was like kind of less interested in games for a little bit there.
Yeah, she's
kind of back in.
She's playing the games again. She was playing Yoshi's Woolly World on the 3DS. Because really, it seems like Yoshi is number one, but she likes Mario a lot now. And Mario was like a few weeks ago. You could have said Mario to her, and she'd be like, "Gross, a man." And it's like, oh, okay. She was like, I hate Mario, and that's completely shifted. So
interesting.
I did make a rookie mistake. Earlier this year, she was way into Hotel Transylvania, and so when she said she wanted to go as Mavis for Halloween,
you already bought her Halloween costume, you idiot.
I'm a dumb bitch, and I paid the price literally in that I bought a Halloween costume that I'm pretty sure is going to go unused. So yeah, now she wants to go as, I think she said Yoshi last week. Now she wants to go as Mario this week. So,
well, I'm sure if you explain to her that you already bought the Mavis costume, then she'll understand.
Local dad distressed this daughter by telling her the truth about something. Yeah, no.
Hey everybody, this is Last of the Nintendogs. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching live, please hit that like button. We appreciate it. You also send in super chats. We will answer those during the show. You have any questions or comments, we always appreciate it. All right, Jeff. So we had that exciting NSO news, which is about as exciting as news direct from Nintendo gets these days, for the most part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Naming a futuristic racer is always like kind of like, okay, Wipeout, I kind of get it. F-Zero took me a while. I got that one. Extreme G, that one's like on its face. Like, oh, you're experiencing a lot of G's. How would you name a futuristic racer?
That's good. Extreme G is that's a pretty
That's
good
like one
name.
of the better ones, actually. Yeah. Aero Gauge is not a good name, even though I like that weird ass game.
My first instinct is to get the word neon in there. The first thing I get, like Neon Blur would be my first
isn't there
5 second
Neon City Racer or isn't that one?
I'm sure. There's Blur, and then I'm sure there's other racing games with the word neon in it, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Totally.
I just say Neon Blur. God, futuristic racers. It's like I know we had a lot of F-Zero likes come out, and I feel like I should be checking them out, but I'm always just like so inherently skeptical of them. Like, that just won't hit. That just won't hit like I want it to.
Yeah, I would be bad at name. I'd be like, my first thought was like Nuke Wheels. That's not good.
Yeah, you're bad. Yeah, you are bad at this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would play a game called Nuke Wheels. Let's be clear, but I don't think it would sell very well.
Man, I was about to say, well, 1,000 Year Door Remake's coming out soon. That's May 23rd. That's a month today. Like, that seems a little rough to me that's a month out still. I feel like I should have that game.
We did say we would play Princess Peach's Showtime. We should still do that.
We should play Princess Peach Showtime. I think that would be fun. We'll talk about it later, but I have been playing a lot of Iden Chronicles.
Right.
So I am playing a new Switch game. And that is something as the community, I'll ask you a bit later here as we get through the news. Like, what are you playing on your Switch in 2024? Like, what does that look like? Are you playing the kind of like fewer new releases that we have and not so much first-party Nintendo stuff? Or are you hitting up your back catalog instead? I'm curious. I'll be interested to know. We do have a few stories here, Jeff. Are you prepared?
I was muted. I am not prepared, but I'll do it anyhow. Listen, the Goxler's haunted again, so it's going to be a problem.
Clearly unprepared, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to be prepared for this, but let's just do it.
All right, first up here, Samus did not appear in Fortnite because Nintendo wanted her to only be available on the Switch. This is according to Donald Mustard, the former chief creative officer at Epic Games. He did an interview with Game File. So you remember, like around December 2020, we had Kratos, Sony's character.
And Metroid was rumored Samus was rumored at the time.
Right. Master Chief from Halo also joins. It's like, oh, wow, like the big three each going to have their own in there. It was the Chapter 2, Season 5 Gaming Legends series. Well, it didn't happen. And this Donald Mustard says they got really hung up on their characters showing up on platforms that weren't their platforms. They would be thrilled to have Nintendo characters in Fortnite, but just only if it's on their platform. So basically, they were not going to abide Samus showing up on a PlayStation or on an Xbox.
This is how it works in Rocket League.
Right, that's right. Because there's a Metroid car
and the Mario and Luigi cars and stuff. Yeah. And they only work on. You only see them on Switch. If you're playing against someone else on another platform, you still see it as Mario, but the other person I think sees it as a generic car.
Yeah. It's pretty old fashioned of Nintendo. Of course, we get it. Like they don't want. No one's saying that. Hey, you should let people play Metroid on a PlayStation. Some people are probably saying that, but nobody really expects that to happen. But I mean, come on, even PlayStation in 2020 was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Kratos will show up on Xbox and people are playing Fortnite. Who cares? That's not that big a deal. And I guess like it was going to be Mario. It was going to be Samus, but Nintendo still just so incredibly protective of their IP. Although I don't know exactly how this protects Samus per se.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily argue that this would help raise the profile of Samus and Metroid, and that's a series that needs that. So it's a shame that they didn't go along with it, but just the least surprising thing ever. Of course, Nintendo is like this. I think it's not even something they actively think about. I don't think it's something they're like, well, let's approach this situation based on its merits. They're just like, no, we always do this thing. It's always got to be on Nintendo stuff only. So, of course, that's our answer to it. I don't think they thought about it more than that.
Their playbook has not changed since like Link was in Soul Calibur 2 and
Right.
Mario, Peach, and Luigi were in NBA Street Volume 3 on GameCube, right? That's just how it should still work for them. It's disappointing though. It would have been cool, like it would have been like this deep moment, like wow, look, yeah, Master Chief, Kratos, and Samus, like they each have their character in there. I do not blame Fortnite for at that point just saying no.
Oh no, Fortnite has to like Epic has to make a stance that like no, we can't say yes to that because then everyone's going to ask for concessions, and it needs to just work one way going forward. So yeah, I don't blame them either. But you were right, like about the whole like oh Kratos is on Xbox and no one cared, and no one cared. Like it's just like it didn't change anything, didn't affect anything, was not a negative in any way.
Yeah. Even like, but between the Xbox and PlayStation fanboys who get mad about everything, no one cared. Everyone understands, but you can imagine how the olds at Nintendo would just not abide that at all. Just be like, "What are you even suggesting? How dare you?"
I mean, wasn't the thing? It's like you could only buy it on Nintendo, and they were like, we'll do that. Epic's like, we are okay like with you only being able to buy it on Nintendo, but it has to show up everywhere. And it's like, okay, why not that? Doesn't that just convince people to be like, well, if I want the Samus skin, I got to go get a Switch, and then people are like jealous of that. It's really hard for Nintendo or for me to understand Nintendo's logic. But that's why I think there was no logic actually applied.
No, I think I don't think they thought about it even for a second. It was like, no, of course we're not doing that. And they probably moved on pretty quickly, which is a shame. It would have been neat. Donkey Kong Country at Universal Studios Japan has been delayed to late 2024. It was supposed to open this spring. This is the Donkey Kong Country extension of Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios Japan. This is going to primarily include the new Donkey Kong Country roller coaster. I imagine perhaps some slight testing issues with that is why this is delayed a bit. All rides, especially roller coasters, go through pretty extensive testings.
I heard Diddy Kong fucking died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Diddy Kong's dead, everybody.
Daddy Kong, more like it.
He's more like Daddy Kong. That's funny. Yeah. A little bit of, not like I was going to Japan, a smidge of a bummer. This is still going to just be an immediate part of Super Nintendo World when we get it in Orlando, when that opens in 2025 at their third park, Epic Universe, which is really starting to come together now. Donkey Kong Country will not be coming to Hollywood. There is no room for it over there. But there's a good amount of excitement for this because, we're able to see the construction and it looks really neat. Like you kind of have this launch hill thing that like makes it look like you are shooting out of one of those giant barrels like in the video games. It is really like deep in the Donkey Kong Country theming. It's just neat to see like, a super Donkey Kong Country themed thing in a theme park. That's neat.
Yeah, and it's it's always been a little bit weird to me that they're going with this because I thought like Nintendo in Japan was not like in love with Donkey Kong Country, but the game sold so well. And if you want to do something Donkey Kong, I suppose it probably still is the right answer because Donkey Kong Country was very popular.
And even though it's Nintendo World over there, it's all clearly Mario adjacent. There's like some Pikmin showing up. But, transitioning from Mario to Donkey Kong is going to be a much easier thing than, just putting a Splatoon section right next to it, right?
Yeah, so. I mean, Splatoon's very popular in Japan, but I think that's like, that needs more time to marinate for like a company like Universal to understand how to effectively do something with that. So they're going to go with the hits.
Absolutely. Then one last little thing here. Nintendo Live is coming to Sydney, Australia from August 31st to September 1st. This is that live show that we saw in Seattle. It was supposed to be in Japan, but got canceled because of a threat. But I'm glad that they are still going forward with these. I thought it was a ton of fun when we did it at PAX West. So I hope all of our Australian friends get a chance to check this out.
Yeah, it's worth it.
August 31st, though, hey, that's like later. You think there'll be anything interesting there that they're going to let people play? Like at ours, we got to play Super Mario Wonder before it released.
Yeah, I bet one of these games that will get announced for the holidays, one of these ports or upgrades or whatever, will be there. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
What about Metroid Prime 4, Jeff?
No, I've lost the faith. I've lost the faith.
Good. I'm glad I've beaten you down.
You snuffed out any like brightness in my eyes. Don't worry, it's all cold and dead now, just like you like, Mike.
Yeah, I do like that. You think they even say the word Switch 2 or whatever it is during this? You think that's still just not anything that has been talked about
Not in
officially
August.
yet?
No, that's too early, I think, still.
All right.
That's not,
Jeff,
it's not impossible, but probably still too early.
Probably still a little too early, which is weird. Again, that's like my big question. Like, man, when do we hear something? Because, I mean, when do we expect to Switch 2? Kind of like probably like spring next year. Well, it's spring now, so it's kind of a year away right now is I guess where we're at, which, you know, feels like a while, but also not that long, I suppose. And it is just like, man, yeah, like we're at that weird spot now where we've been waiting so long that it's like, it feels like it's never going to happen. Right.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
but like, of course it's going to happen. Like someday we're going to be living in this world where like we have details about a Switch 2. And yeah, we're at that weird period where I can't even imagine what that's like right now.
You're right. It really is that. It's like as we get further away, like further past the obvious prime of the Switch, and we're kind of getting to this dead zone where nothing's happening and Nintendo's being very quiet. Somehow it makes the future feel so much further away. Like when we're in it, it's like, could happen any moment. It's going to be any minute now. They're going to announce this thing. And now it's like, oh yeah, that's right. They can go quiet for a very long time. And we're in that. It just feels further away than ever.
Jeff, we got a couple of super chats right now. Do you want to just read those right now before we take a break here?
Yeah, let me see. Let me get these up and going. Okay, let's start with Deedle Venom, which is, I think, how you pronounce that. Hello, Mitch and Juff. Is it stupid that I am glad Samus isn't in Fortnite because I don't want to see her shoot Pickle Rick and do the gritty? Yes, because that would rule.
No, I think I agree with TV. I am kind of two minds of it. Part of me is like, that'd be funny. That doesn't matter, of course. I know there was another part of me that would roll my eyes, perhaps.
Yeah, but
just
it's like,
a bit.
Is there anything sacred in this world anymore, Mike?
No, and look, I get it. We should take it. Like, I defend that Star Wars Kinect game where Han Solo was dancing and like being, I'm Han Solo, and like all the Star Wars fans were really mad. I was like, oh, lighten up. Who cares? But look, I do get it a little bit.
If a Samus like cosplayer, like character at Nintendo World did the gritty, would that be upsetting? Is it just like the Fortnite environment?
No, that'd be way worse. That'd be way worse if an official Samus character like did it.
Just
I would
hitting
not
the gritty.
Like that.
Okay. Yeah.
No, she's just saying character. She should be a professional. Absolutely not.
I think that it's I get this. I get where people are coming from, but no, nothing is sacred. Let's just have fun.
I think you're probably right. But there'd be a moment. It's that same part of me that in that Death Stranding 2 trail when everyone else was like laughing and having fun because that guy had a guitar that like shot fire swords or whatever, and I was kind of like, this is kind of dumb.
And then
I don't know.
And then John Cena would come and stand next to Samus, and everything would be right again. So you'd be fine.
Right. You know, the fact that like, yeah, hey, we already have Darth Vader and they're doing the gritty, whatever. Like, who cares?
Right.
It's now prestigious to do this.
Sorry. Next one is...
you have to read more.
When I last looked, there was only one more, so I already kind of forgot. Now there's several more. All right, here we are. Nick with their 10th super chat. Hey, Mike and Jeff, have you all played any Pico 8 games? Just played a demake of Hollow Knight and Suika game, and they were a lot of fun. My only experience with Pico 8 are those Pico 8 levels of Celeste in Celeste.
So Pico 8 is like the thing that looks like an old computer, but it's not.
There was no actual physical Pico 8, but it's like it's a platform that people can develop for still.
Is it like supposed to be kind of like an Apple II, or is it newer than that, like Commodore 64?
Like the Apple IIs that had color. Commodore 64 is probably actually
like
a better
IBM
one.
something.
Yeah, Commodore 64 is pretty good. That's probably what it is. Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of videos about old Ultima games. Magjular has been doing that, so I've been learning more about these old computers because they come up. Oh, and there's also were you a Oregon Trail person? I mean, come on, you had to be.
Yeah, I mean, I played it in school. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. There was the gaming historian did a longer documentary about the Oregon Trail.
I'm going to watch that this
recently.
weekend. I'm very excited.
It's very good. Yep. I enjoyed it a lot. So I don't know. I'm kind of in a nostalgic, like very old computer game mood, which is that's nothing I was actually a part of. Like Commodore 64s or Apple IIs or anything like that. That was before my time. But
Apple IIs is the one that the first computer I had. Yeah.
Yeah, I find it more interesting than like the old consoles, to be honest. Like Atari and television, ColecoVision stuff. I find it mildly interesting. I'm more interested in like really old computer gaming than that.
I would like to check out a demake of Hollow Knight before I actually played Hollow Knight. I think that'd be fun.
That would upset me. Yeah, it would be funny. You're right.
Connell Wood says absolute clown shoes at Embracer and Friends. Yeah, they suck. They've continued to suck, and they're gonna suck in the future.
Come on in, come to the place where fun never ends. Come on in, it's time to party with Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Mikey O'Leary says, for the love of all things holy, won't you please let Samus gritty?
Not until Metroid crawls first.
Why can't Metroid crawl?
Why can't Metroid
Man, we
crawl?
didn't deserve the Miiverse. The Miiverse was so beautiful and perfect.
Yeah, that was fun. It is a shame. Like, that'd be nice if that's something to do at Switch 2, is just bring something like the Miiverse back. Although,
they won't.
I wonder if it was lightning in a bottle. Can it really be back, Jeff? Can you really? I mean, you should be able to do it, but much better, honestly. Like,
I think in a lot of ways it could be worse, and that would be better, because I think,
right.
Yeah, like just people kind of suck at social media in general. So, listen, as long as they monitored it the same way they did with the Miiverse, it would be fine. Bobby Downey says, Mike loves Star Tropics because the dude is named Mike. How do you feel about that theory?
Maybe, although I think when I played it as a kid, because you could like name the character, I don't know if I knew then his name was. I mean, his name was Mike.
Well,
I wrote
okay.
it Mike.
What would you have changed it to, though?
No, you don't change it though. It's just like it's like playing Zelda. Just ask what's this character's name. Like his name, like the character in Star Tropics was Mike, just like the character in Zelda was Mike to me. You know, I didn't realize that was special.
I always played Zelda as Link. Even as a kid, I was putting Link in there.
I eventually did. I wonder when the last time I put Mike in was. It might have been like Wind Waker or something. I've definitely for a while now just put in Link. I'm even doing it with like Persona now, like Persona 3. I just went to Google. Like, what's this guy's canon name again? Right. I don't actually want people calling me Minati-san or Minati-senpai. I'm like, nah, this guy does not look like a Minati. I'm sorry.
Propaganda Panda says, what character would Mike be okay with in Fortnite? And I'm gonna manipulate that a little bit.
Joe Biden.
What is the one that's like the closest to Samus that you would be like questionable, but you're like, all right, fine.
Oh,
like who's on the border?
Who's another borderline character? Mega Man X.
Okay.
Not Mega Man. That'd be bad. That's a kid. That doesn't make sense. But Mega Man X is a cool guy who uses guns. I could see that. And
it would like help his profile, right? It would only benefit him.
Yeah. Yeah, if for that new Mega Man X game, I'm sure they're making. It'd be great.
Yeah, right next to Ridge Racer. Colin Wood says, best thing I ever saw
what do you mean by that?
was a very accurate Samus cosplayer in a Prime suit standing outside a convention smoking with a Dante cosplayer. Yeah, that'd be very cool. I'd be very excited if I saw that. It'd be more exciting if I saw that like completely out of context. Like if I didn't know there was a cosplay convention, I just walked past that and saw it, that would own.
Cosplay conventions are weird because even when the cosplays look amazing, to me, when I'm at the convention, because you're just at like a convention, like no matter how good your cosplay looks, there's a cheapness in the air, you know.
I need to like have a text plaque that comes up like the Mike Minotti Judgment Zone, and it just flash. Welcome to the Mike Minotti Judgment Zone. Your hobby is weird, says Mike Minotti.
That's not what I mean. It's just like, it's like, oh wow, your cosplay looks amazing, and you have a lanyard on, and you're, walking next to a person in jorts.
The reality is that, okay, you're right. I get what you mean by the context really makes it feel cheap, but if you take like movie props, like a film used movie props off the set and off film and like show them in the real world, they look like cheaper than most cosplay. So.
Oh, sure. Hey, everyone, your cosplay is very nice and it's cool, and you think your hobby's neat. That's not what I mean.
Welcome to the Mike Minotti backpedal zone. I'll get that one made up.
Jeff, you can sing Old Man River as much as you want.
Thank you. Listen, I can't help it. It's just such a fun song to sing. I can't help it.
I had a tuba solo from that back in high school band, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had the solo.
Right, and tuba
there weren't too many tuba solos back then, but I had that one.
Fucking letting your hair down. All right, let's go.
It's good stuff.
Matt Rare Monkey says, are we not going to talk about the dad upset with Nintendo because them turning off Animal Crossing servers? Seems like he is still a threat. Yeah, listen, that was dumb. That was
so funny.
People was. I'm sorry. People was. I checked the mentions of that
Yeah, me
news.
too.
Whatever. People were being like fucking nuts. It was like
It's like
people have to,
what's wrong
some
with
people
y'all?
have to say something about everything.
they have
They're
to say something about
idiots.
everything, and they make you have to, and they also like before they're able to say something have to make like 50 assumptions, and then they get mad at their assumptions, and then that's when the internet gets really good. That's the best
That's
kind
when
of
it's
internet.
really cooking, baby.
That's when it's absolutely cooking. Yeah, it was stupid. Oh,
yeah.
there's
Look,
another one.
Nintendo made Gertzman's kid cry, and they shouldn't have. All right.
Yeah, it's like you
Yeah,
could
that's
you maybe
true.
empathize with a kid every once in a while. That you could try
Nah.
that.
I don't have kids. I don't care. And also, here's how I think that you should be parenting them.
You should be doing a better job. Your kid cried? That means you're weak. Willow Davis says, too late, Mike. The furries are coming for you. He
No,
didn't say
they've
anything
been
about I think there's a difference between a cosplay convention and a furry convention.
Yeah, that's.
I'm going to be the one that
That's
says
racist.
it. There's a difference.
Man, that's really bold of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, they're different things.
Yeah.
Like the furry, that's like that costume's part like an identity thing. That's different than
Right.
just like wearing like a costume for the for
Yeah,
a
that's
convention.
their skin.
Yeah, that's
What are you
them
talking about,
manifesting.
goddammit?
Yeah. That does it for the super chats. Thank you, everybody. That was a slew of super chats there
Yeah,
in the last
I thought
couple
it
of
was
minutes.
just this bit. I was like, oh, we only had a couple. Let's squeeze them in here. Thank you, everybody. If you still want to send in a super chat, we will read it before the end of the show. We have another round of those we read right at the end. So thank you. Jeff, we'll take a quick break, though. We'll come back. We got some things to talk about.
Break. I think that's racist.
All right. So everything in this mailbag here, Sean, is from last time. We're not doing any mailbag. It's just the topic.
Oh, you said we weren't doing the mailbag.
Right. I just didn't know. Like, I still, yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, I didn't even look at the doc today since we weren't doing that.
That's fine. Yeah. So there's just a thread like usual then?
Yep.
Like the old
Yep.
times? Okay.
I
get it up
can
then.
get you the link if you want to.
Like what?
I can get you the link if you want.
No, I got it. I know how. I'm not old man like Jeff. I can,
Oh yeah.
What'd you
know how
say?
Discord works.
nothing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Do I have enough drink to get me through this? Yes. I'll take a break halfway through. So we're good. I'm ready to go.
You don't wait, Chef. Do you want to get ready to show the?
Not particularly,
the
but I'll do
thread?
it. Yeah, give me a second.
All right. Come on in. Come to the place for fun.
I'm just Super Saiyan, brother.
Disguises, surprises, and pies of all sizes. Come
if I
on in.
click
Come
on
to the
the
place where fun never
top
ends.
title, I can make it
Come
full
on in.
screen.
It's time to party with Garfield and friends.
Do I have a way to show it off on this? Yeah, right here. Okay,
Garfield and
okay.
friends.
Almost ready.
Garfield and friends. And he says something that's usually not funny, but he says it like it's funny.
That's like
you
half
know.
the battle, though. If you could say something like it's funny, you're most of the way
Yeah.
there.
If you didn't
Yeah.
pay attention, there's a test at the end. It's like, no, there isn't. That's funny. It's
That's
a good joke. Lorenzo.
What
Was
a
Garfield
funny
ever
motherfucker.
funny though? That's a real question.
I mean, I liked Garfield as a kid.
I think the
Oh, there's
Garfield
that one-
cartoon was pretty okay.
Yeah,
That's the
John
thing,
drank
there-
the dog sperm. That was funny.
Oh, that's
Excuse me,
right.
what?
That's
ever saw
a
that one?
moment in history. Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
I've been trying to delete that from my mind.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right.
All right, bring it back, Mike.
And we are back. Jeff, I'm kind of curious. You know, we are in a slow period, like maybe the first slow period ever for the Switch. There must have been one before, I suppose, but it feels like
I don't remember
one of the
it.
first. It feels like the first slow period ever. We're obviously winding down, and the Switch 2 isn't coming out as soon as they had originally hoped. So there's a bit of a lull here, but I am curious how people are using their Switch in 2024. Are you using it as much as you had in past years? Are you playing newer games still? Are you kind of catching up on your backlog? Like what have you been playing on your Switch this year?
Yeah. So I do feel like I did a pretty decent job in the last couple of years of like keeping up with everything I want to play on the Switch. So that means I don't have like the biggest like top tier backlog on the Switch. That's the
Except
like
for Captain Toad, which we have
except
to
for
play
Captain
some, but-
Toad and that one platinum game I can never remember the name of.
Astral Chain.
Astral Chain, yes, exactly. And I'll get to those. But it's like the one console where I'm like, I did want to keep up with everything. I did want to be playing everything. So I don't have some huge backlog. So I am like right now I'm playing Unicorn Overlord when I get time. I'm mostly though fighting for time with the Switch with my kids. They are taking it over. They are playing with it nonstop. And it's making it more difficult for me to like, have those little moments where I could be playing something like Unicorn Overlord. I was just looking like they've got like 12 games so that they've opened up since the last time I played Unicorn Overlord. They're just playing everything. So,
Wow.
a big part of it is like, you know what? I had a really good time with the Switch. I continue to want to play stuff on the Switch, but there's like a million games on here for them to discover. So if they're kind of using that and doing and like getting a lot of that out of the system, maybe it's time that process has started. And I've surrendered to that a little bit, especially since I've been playing a lot of review games on the Steam Deck, for example.
What do you think's going to happen when the Switch 2 comes out? And like, especially when you have like, if you had like a review version, actually, we're probably not getting a Switch 2 for review. I just forgot where we were. But still, like when the Switch 2 is like new, it's not just like, oh, I'm going to buy 3 Switch 2s. Maybe you will. I don't know. Is you're going to try to like be more like, hey, you guys can't use this one as much, or are you just going to surrender it as much as you do the Switch 1?
Will try to keep on to that one a little bit more like the Steam Deck. If Nintendo does a Steam style family sharing thing, I will get multiple Steam or Switch 2s. Like that would be something I would definitely consider. But as it is, I'm not going to start buying physical games to make it easier for me to lend games to my kids. For one, they would lose them, like 100% would lose them, and I don't want to deal with that.
They have nephews and nieces, and like, they just lose those games.
They just
really
lose
do.
those games all the time. And like, I like hide the few physical games I do have. I hide from them, and sometimes they just find them and like take them places and like leave it in the middle of the floor. I'm like, well, how did this happen again? So a lot of it will come down to how Nintendo approaches like family sharing. I hope they have a more modern approach to it. But as it is, there's 3 of us that are constantly like playing games a lot now. And you can kind of make something work when there's just 2, but that's not going to be the case. So, if the Switch 2 comes out, I'm going to try to like keep that to myself. And that's one of the reasons I'm like, discover the Switch. There's plenty of stuff on there for
maybe
you.
Maybe your kids shouldn't be playing so many video games.
I think you should be playing more video games.
Maybe you should be like having a conversation with. God forbid you talk to them.
That was the craziest thing about that. It's like, how do you think he knows that she was upset about that thing? You think he's just like, that's what paying attention to your kid is. Well, that's the one that really got me mad. But overall, I'm like, I am happy with the 7 years that we've had with the Switch. I will keep playing it here and there. But it's not something where I'm like, I feel like I missed out on any big thing. So I'm like, man, I would like to go back to that. If anything, there's like games in the past on other consoles that I feel way more about that than anything on the Switch.
The thing I kind of hate is I want to be real retrospective with the Switch. Like I want to like start like talking about what were the best games and everything. I feel like we're not quite there yet because there's still going to be a few things. I am still waiting for them to at least announce when the Switch 2 is generally coming out. It kind of announced, what, like something's got to come out this holiday. I want to see what that is at least before I really start thinking about that.
I am thinking that way a little bit though. Personally,
yeah,
I'm kind of there.
Yeah, I want to really start officially doing that at some point here. I've been mostly still playing like the new games, like Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. That was basically a Switch game for me. That's where I played it. And then Unicorn Overlord now. But like between then, when I was playing just Persona 3 Reload on my Roger Ally, like that was the longest Switch break I had ever taken. That was probably the longest I was going without just playing things on my Switch. And I bet I'm going to have more of those in the future. There are more things I want to check out on the ROG Ally. Even though there are still plenty of things I could play on my Switch, really, because I have Unicorn Overlord there, and I still haven't played that Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remaster, so that's a bit of a backlog thing. I guess there is backlog stuff I want to do because there is Captain Toad. There is that. I guess those are the big ones. There's not too many other ones I feel that bad about. I'm Princess Peach at this point.
Yeah,
I should go back and at least check that out real quick. But I'm keeping up with it. And when Thousand Year Door comes out, I will absolutely be playing that. But man, well, after that, I hope we find out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it kind of could happen at any moment, but doesn't feel like it. Does not feel like it.
Let's see what the community had to say about this one, what they are up to. Villain Mac brought up Balatro. It's funny because that was not a Switch game for me. Balatro was entirely a PC thing. I liked dragging and dropping. I know that people were pretty happy with the way that played on Switch, but I don't know. I think I prefer using my mouse on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you can play with the touchscreen. It does work really great with the controller. But yeah, I get it. It's good with the mouse too.
Dorachi says, I replayed the entire Pikmin series, including 2023's Game of the Year, Pikmin 4. That is something I kind of want to do. At least play Pikmin 3 Deluxe now that I played Pikmin 4 and finally really grok this series better. I'd like to go back to that at some point.
Yeah, I could see myself going to Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Switch. That's something I could do. I haven't had the urge to do that until recently, and I'm glad it's there.
Taniel says, been playing through the Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remaster. Think this is the year I beat 1 through 6 final. Yeah, that's something that I do really, really want to do, is finally go back and play through that one. Like, I somehow found time to play 1 through 5 in a row.
Yeah, that was
all
wild.
Of a sudden. Yeah, I don't know how I managed it. None of them, especially their ones, they're not very long, right?
Yeah.
You can beat like
15,
1 through 4
hours.
are like 15 to 20 hour things. Like 5 was the one that's getting closer to 30. But gosh, I really want to play Final Fantasy 6. It is so good, and it had that anniversary recently. Penny, calm down, please, please, fake dog.
The soundboard is going crazy.
Yeah, right. Hey, I'm gonna have a conversation with Penny for a second. Just say
sure, no
something
problem.
about Final Fantasy.
The weird thing about Final Fantasy is they said Final Fantasy, and then there's been a lot of them. Isn't that weird?
You killed it. Hoff
Thanks,
says, no, I mean, you killed the segment.
Oh,
It had
shit.
momentum, and now it's dead. You blew
Oh,
it.
my feelings.
Haas, the Mike Minotti judgment sounds been activated. Haas says 2024 is the year of the backlog for me. 21 games finished so far, including Fire Emblem Engage, Skyward Sword, and Advance Wars 1. Overall, Balatro tops the playtime. Best 101 million. Man,
That's
21 games finished so far this year. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think I'm probably at I might be getting close to 10-ish, maybe more than that. But yeah, especially after just beating that God, what's the game I just talked
Tales
about?
of Kenzao.
Tales of Kenzera Zhao. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I also was playing a lot of Mario Golf on NSO, which was fun. But playing NSO things here and there. Would it be wild if I just played a lot of Iggy's Wrecking Balls? Like if I beat that game, that'd be funny.
I don't think it'd be weird. That sounds fun.
It does kind of sound fun. I think like most people, I rented that game and enjoyed it a bit. I remember thinking, well, it's no Chameleon Twist, but it's pretty good.
I bet I rented it. I don't really remember Iggy's Wrecking Ball, so I'm very interested to play it again and see if anything comes flooding back.
Now it is still wild that if somebody's upset that we got that before we got Mischief Makers, I understand. Like where's Mischief Makers at?
Yeah.
And some of these other rare games like Donkey Kong 64 that are still missing, but whatever, I'll take it.
Yep.
Jedi Moss says the main new game on the Switch so far has been Unicorn Overlord, which is very good. This might be the year to go back and revisit some older games like Fire Emblem Engage. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been playing a lot of is Unicorn Overlord. Fire Emblem Engage does feel like some old game, even though it came out in the beginning of 2023. It's just like a year old, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those games where it's it's a Nintendo game I saw on sale recently. It's like, oh man, that must be really old. It's like, no, it was last year.
Zuber says, between Super Mario RPG, Thousand Year Door, and Unicorn, I got too many RPGs I gotta play. Between Lost Crown, Showtime, and Zao, I got too many platformers, not even going to list games from the Indie Showcase, and PlayStation, Xbox games, and mobile games. I have choice paralysis, and this is what we call a down year. Yeah, it is nice that, it's a slow year, but that specifically means like big new first-party games. There are still plenty of things you can play on your Switch, and if you like RPGs, this year, just across the board, has been kind of wild for you.
Yep. And I can imagine if that's the case, you're still playing the Switch a lot.
Screaming Madden says mainly retro games like Super Mario Bros. 3, Blast Core, and shmups such as Thunder Force 4 and G Darius HD. But I'll play Paper Mario 1 and Thousand Year Door on Switch next month. Man, Thunder Force 4 is fun. That game is like on there through Sega Ages, I believe. If you're looking for a good shoot 'em up. Yeah, that's that.
I don't know if I have
the
Sega Ages. I need to get that.
That is probably the best looking Genesis game.
Yeah.
I think it is the most graphically impressive Genesis game. The parallax scrolling in that, the amount of colors. It seems like there's more colors in that game than should be allowed on a Genesis game. And of course, it's just so smooth and Thunder Force 4 is fantastic.
Sega has some of the best games with the number 4 in it, and some of the very, very worst with Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Yeah, Sonic 4 very bad. Phantasy Star 4.
Phantasy Star is what I was thinking of.
Fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
Thunder Force 4 very good. Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah,
great stuff.
I guess we'll count that. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other 4s? They didn't make a Shinobi 4. They stopped numbering them.
Yeah.
Sadly. There was like a Shinobi game on Sega Saturn, I think, that doesn't get talked about a whole lot. Okay, I got to think about more 4s.
We'll think about more 4s.
Okay, Screaming Madden
Nope.
says mainly retro games like Super
Nope.
Mario Brothers.
Adam
What?
Juice. You just read Scream, Madden.
Yeah, you're right. I did. Thank you. Adam Juice says completed Sea of Stars, then Unicorn Overlord, then started playing through Mother 2 in Japanese on NSO with my kid as a bonding activity. Why is your kid playing video games? Why don't you try talking to your child? What's wrong with you? I'm calling the police.
Oh, what would happen? Would you get bored hanging out with your kid?
No, actually,
You're
that sounds
weak.
fantastic. That sounds really nice. That'd be a fun game to play. Yeah, that's an art, man.
In Japanese? Yeah, that's awesome.
Too many of my backlog games are RPGs, which is a problem. It's hard to be like, I do want to play Earthbound. I had to play through Bloodstained, actually, not Circle of the Moon, the Ritual of the Night. Somebody was like, if I give you 10 gifted subs, would you play through Bloodstained? And they did.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, but I'm going to do that on the ROG, the ROG. So that's something else I need to do very soon here. So that's going to take up a little bit of time. Jamie H1224, but I'm excited to do it. Says, so far, most of the year was spent on Unicorn Overlord. Spent around 60 hours 100%ing it and got the
Wow.
true ending. Oh, it's a true ending game. I'm glad I know that. Next on my list is Pentiment while I wait for Stardew 1.6 to come to consoles.
I love Pentiment.
I love Pentiment. I like Stardew a lot.
Stardew
I
Valley's
know
great.
some people go back, and I know they always do add content to Stardew, but I am kind of like, yeah, I like Stardew a lot, and I know that there's a lot of new content there, but there's other things I want to do than play Stardew again.
Yeah, and if I wanted to, I'm like, I could imagine a world where we take that Stardew Valley multiplayer thing and do something with it for a couple of weeks on Giant Bomb. I know Dan loves Stardew Valley, so maybe we'll just interact with that
Right.
stuff that way.
Right, and that's what I was thinking about, because I think Dan and Mary Kish were talking about it on Firescape, because Mary is playing it again. Dan's like, oh, like is there so much new stuff that I should go back? Mary's like, I mean, it's it is still Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to have some wild new experience with it. But at the same time, nobody has still come around and made a better one of those, and Haunted Chocolatier still seems like a while
forever
away.
Yeah, but I can just imagine 'cause I like so much in that game to just be to myself and do my things and not interact with any of the townsfolk. And having a multiplayer game where I can be the hermit and have you guys go do other stuff. That could be cool. That could be fun.
Yeah. Octo says, still Balatro, but a sane amount. And there's a picture of Tim Meadows saying, it's the cheapest drug there is from Walk Hard. I was like,
It makes
I don't
sex
wanna
feel
become
even better.
I don't want to be addicted. It's it's non-habit for me.
Walk
it's
Hard
funny.
is a really good movie. God.
I've mostly completed my Balatro goals. I beat one of the decks on gold stakes. I'm doing some of the challenge runs here and there, but I'm mostly kind of I'm done-ish with this game. I play it every now and then, but I played a lot of it, not as much as some people, but probably 40 hours. So I definitely got my money's worth on that one and liked it a lot. But I am kind of on the other side a bit.
Yeah, I think I was at I checked my time. I think I was at 30, or I think I was at 40 hours too. But I know I left it on one night overnight. So I
cheater.
think I'm at 30 hours ish. I imagine that's a game I'm going to play in retirement. That's how I'm looking at that game right now. I'm never going to retire, but that's what I imagine.
Yeah, retirement. That's cute. I hope you people are going to be excited to hear about the video game opinions of a bunch of 60 and 70-year-olds someday. That's going to be great.
Yeah, you guys are going to love that.
Yeah, it's going to be. I bet we won't prefer older games more by then at all. I bet we'll still be hip with it for sure.
Yep.
Velocity Prime says Prince of Persia and Balatro, 2 great games that are perfect as handheld experiences. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think getting the Lost Crown and having that work very well on the Switch was a pretty big boon to the console for a lot of people, at least smart people who played Prince of Persia, Lost Crown. If you didn't, shame on you. But that was such a great, I don't want to say surprise, because we played it at Summer Game Fest last year and we knew it was going to be good, but even still, it was better than I could have hoped for. Fantastic game.
Yep.
Tommy Pencil says, ask again when the 1,000-year door comes out. No, I asked you now, Tommy, and you had your chance to answer and you blew it. Now we're moving on.
God damn it, Tommy. You upset Mikey.
Thank you, Tommy. Mr. Boris says, I picked up Stitch. I didn't realize that came out after seeing it in the recent Indie World Showcase. Oh, that's right. It's a chill puzzle game based on Shikaku. You're the one taking Japanese. How should I say that?
Shikaku.
Shikaku. Puzzles from the original Sudoku publisher, Nicoli. Oh, man, there's just word after word here. Where you create a series of boxes that don't overlap with Stitch, adding the twist of making embroidered images out of the boxes. It doesn't do a lot extra, but it works really well as a podcast game. This game did look cute and interesting. during the indie showcase, I wouldn't mind checking out at some point.
I picked it up on Steam Deck because I got the account. So, but yes, it's very cute.
Always Be Clothing says, posting this for Sean and Mike, still need to work on the Switch backlog. This is a character from Unicorn Overlord. Yeah, I haven't seen this character yet. I think there is like a whole like continent of furries in a Unicorn Overlord that I haven't wandered to as of yet. Poor Sean, I think, probably didn't make it there by the time he was done with it. Might have turned him around a little bit.
I tried so hard, Mike.
And got so far.
In the end,
doesn't even matter.
Doesn't even matter.
I put my trust in you. Shoji Ko says, honestly, not a whole lot. For me, the only thing of note has been Ghost Trick for the Game Club so far this year. Hey, there's a game that should be on a lot more people's backlog. They haven't played it yet. Ghost Trick. Jeff, I'm going to make you play
yeah,
at least a bit of Ghost Trick.
Let's find a reason to make me play, yeah.
That's such a good... It's a great... That was probably the most positive Game Club discussion we've had yet was Ghost Trick. Nobody had anything bad to say about Ghost Trick. Okay. It's an insanely good game. While there are a handful of new releases looking forward to later on in the year, like Paper Mario, Lorelei, and Laser Eyes, and World of Goo 2, I think the bulk of my focus will be older games in my backlog. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alex says, Octopath Traveler 2 somewhat. My Steam Deck really replaced my handheld gaming. Yeah, I think that's happened for quite a few people. Sense. I feel bad about Octopath Traveler 2, and I feel like now I'm like so far removed from it. And there's other JRPGs in my back catalog. I just don't know if it's happening.
If I get Michael Hyam to like berate you at like Summer Game Fest about it, would you think that would make you more likely to play it?
No, but I'd be
okay,
funny.
what about Michael Hyam and Ben Starr?
Oh, I have to do anything Ben says. It's in my contract. Bubsy G has a picture of Link in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's funny because that probably is like, in terms of minutes played everywhere, it probably is still absolutely one of the most Switch games played at any given moment. Of course it is. It's the best-selling Switch game. But it's funny because it was such an early Switch game, right?
Yep, first like few months, right? That was like 3 or 4 or 5 months after the Switch came out. Yeah.
Yeah. Chaos Buckaroo says, I've been mostly PS5 this year, but I started the Golden Deer route in 3 Houses last week. Next month is new releases, and then into the backlog over the summer. Yeah, you could always go and play one of the routes in 3 Houses that you didn't play the first time, unless you're somebody who did play all 4 of them. There's that DLC for that one.
That's right. Jeez.
Yeah, with like the evil underground group, and I wonder how good that is. I never heard too much about it. I didn't try it myself. Bench JC says, honestly, my Switch hasn't seen a lot of use in 2024. However, I did get around to Bowser's Fury, and that game rules. Yeah, Bowser's Fury is super fun.
I love Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, even though it got me in Nintendo jail, that game was such a good time. Again, like we'll talk about Switch 2, it's like, yeah, like maybe like this time next year I'm going to be playing a new 3D Mario game, and I'm just going to lose my mind at that. Just like the idea of that. Bowser Fury was kind of the last one, like, but then before that, Mario's Odyssey, and those games were just both so good. I just can't imagine how much I'm going to like the next one.
Yep. If Bowser's Fury is the game where they're like, they got halfway through that and they sort of were like, this is good enough to put out, but it's not the real next Mario. What is the real next Mario going to be? That's nuts to me.
Casual says, but one more thing about Bowser Fury, it's a croak was like they were doing that with a bunch of other games. Like here's like the Bowser's Minions side thing in like the remake of Mario and Luigi. Like there's other games that did that. None of them remotely as good as Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing. Yeah.
Just could have been its own thing. Casual says, I'm about to fall into another Chinese handheld hold, which will take up a lot of my handheld gaming time, but the Switch has been home to mostly Tetris 99 and F-Zero X in 2024. That's fun.
Man, we should play more F-Zero 99.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, I do wish we got an actual F-Zero. Not that F-Zero 9 is on an actual F-Zero game, but I would have been happy if we did get like that remake of F-Zero GX or just something that I could really sink my teeth into. Hey, we got a Extreme G. That's something.
It's close enough.
Next up here is from Ali Mera. Cerveza Cristal says, this is all I play before bed. Oh, and waiting for Paper Mario 1000 Year Door remake. It is Neo Geo Turf Masters, which rules. It has a different name when you buy it on Switch. I can't remember that. That's a Neo Geo puzzle game called Money Puzzler Exchanger. I'm not super familiar with that one. But yeah, you can buy a bunch of Neo Geo games on your Switch through that arcade archives stuff, and you should do that. Those games are very good.
Yep.
I kept meaning to, and I never did, like get one of the like Metal Slugs and really like play through a Metal Slug.
Well,
I
that'd
think
be
that'd be
fun.
fun. That'd be a good time.
You skipped Lenny Cool Dick Denver.
Thank you very much. Lenny Cool Dick Denver says finally started SteamWorld Heist after the announcement of the second game, and I gotta say this game is good. Yeah,
Real solid.
I probably just wait for the sequel, honestly, and play that. But there's a part of me I would like to check out that original one. Jeff, why don't we take one more break right now? We'll get to the rest of these after that. How's that sound?
I love that.
Big Tournament Golf is the name for Neo Geo Turf Masters if you're looking for it on your Switch. Thank you, Alan Miracle.
It was called Neo Turf Masters when I bought it, right? Did they change that for reasons?
I don't.
Probably.
No, I think when you bought it, it was called that.
Okay.
This when I bought it, it was. I thought we bought it around the same
I
time.
bought it like as soon as it came out.
Oh, maybe not then. Maybe not.
You learning Japanese, Chef?
I was trying to keep this on the down low, and then like we were in the.
Good night.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm on like the first segment of
I don't know Japanese.
of Duolingo, so it's like
Oh,
Mizu to Gohan. Like, yeah, so we get
Kudasai.
water and rice. There you go.
Water and rice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm, it's fun. It like I'm just doing a few minutes a day. That's it. But I was trying to keep on the download and like,
straight.
and then
I've
like I
got a
got
week straight here of Gohan Des. I'm like, all right.
you,
come
there
on.
is. I think if you scroll down, you can skip.
Yeah, but drilling is good.
Drilling's
Like,
good.
I
Yes, I'm like
know.
I'm fully into the drilling.
Yeah.
You know me.
I
You know,
almost
I'm off
want
the trail.
Oh yeah, we know. I almost want to try something else because, like, I know you'll
I
get the
use an
conversational stuff. But
Old
Yeah.
kanji study. I don't know
There,
if you-
I did it. There was a section I got to that was the Harananga, which I can't remember. the word.
Hiragana.
Hiranaya?
Hiragana.
Hiragana?
hiragana.
Hiragana.
Katakana,
Yeah. Okay. Hiragana, katakana. Okay, that makes sense now.
and kanjis.
Yeah, I got like a little bit of that sunk in, but I need to drill that more.
Okay.
too.
Yeah, kanji study is really good. And then you can pay a lot of money straight on the app to get like guided teaching stuff.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them do.
Oh, it's not a lot. I thought it was like 100. I literally thought it was like $100, and it's just like $20.
Oh no, yeah, they usually don't cost much. Yeah, I'm just saying a lot of those services they have like a $50,
this
$100,
Kansas
whatever
City app is pretty
one-time
good.
lifetime thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yep. And this is
I
like
just
it's
never
just a
keep
start.
up with it. Yeah,
I've got a 19-day streak, so I'm trying to keep the streak going. There's a couple of YouTube channels I'm watching that have some stuff as well. There's like this
Watch a
lady.
lot of anime, bro.
Yeah, and I've been watching Shogun, so that's helping.
That Shogun show, pretty good.
There's this lady on YouTube Shorts that like does sing-song sort of Sesame Street style repetition
yeah.
of
Mm.
like, this is how you say you're going somewhere or something like that, and that's been good too.
Yeah, I was just thinking earlier today, like once I get better with the conversational stuff, maybe I'll just start watching Pokemon in Japanese.
Yep.
'Cause I'm already watching a kid's show, so the language is going to be simpler.
Yep.
May just pay off to do that.
Yeah,
I
that would
literally
work.
learned English watching The Simpsons in English.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Exposure therapy.
Yeah, and this is like a part of it is like it's something else to do other than get on Twitter. So it's like I could like do this. I do this. I do like those New York Times crossword games. I'll do
Yeah.
a bunch of other stuff, and it's like that's nice. Like I'm not like people are saying like get a tutor. Like that's not what this is.
Nah. Just over time, when we squeezed in, we're slowly learning.
Yeah, slowly learning something. Who knows if it's going to be actually useful if I were to ever visit Japan? But whatever, it's not
Yeah.
really what I'm trying to do.
We're going to Japan.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
right.
Mike, pack
If we
your
if we get to
bags.
500,
My
yeah.
friends,
Let's go.
the new game plus folks put a thing on their like Patreon thing, like to like a goal to go to Tokyo Game Show, and they reached it like a couple of days ago. And they're
That's
pretty,
awesome.
Nice.
pretty
That
psyched.
rules.
So they're gonna go to Japan.
Nice. Good for them.
All right, Mike, you could bring it back whenever you are ready.
All right. Put glasses on. Why am I reading without them? Hurting my eyes. All right. And we are back. We got some more comments here from our community. I asked them, what have they been playing on their Switch this year? Choco Bop says, Pocket Pair, Jockey, and Prince of Persia are the only things I played. But I expect the Thousand Year Door to bring some life back into my Switch. Do you think Thousand Year Door will get something like of a Switch drought bump? You think like that game might sell better than it would have if it had come out like this time last year or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's possible. We'll see. I think it'll be a very popular game for a lot of people who are looking for something different and recognize Mario. And I think it'll do good on Twitch and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that game's going to pop off.
You think it sells better than Origami King?
Yes. Woo. It'll be close.
You would, because it is like a remake, and it is like the game everybody likes. You think like you think you would get all those people who got Origami King because it was just some new thing, but also there's so many more nostalgic people who are obviously picking this one up. Yeah, you would hope it does better.
I guess I hope it does better. Yeah, sure. I just are there so many people who are nostalgic? I mean, I know that we're very loud about it, and there's a lot of us, sure. but it's GameCube only sold so well, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we'll see. Mario RPG seems like that remake did better than I think we even expected. That did very well. So
yeah, you're right. In that case, it probably ends up doing better.
Beef Hammer says, I've lost a lot of innocence recently scrolling through the eShop, but it was worth it because I remembered the Splatoon 3 DLC and enjoying the roguelike mode. Yeah, I actually feel bad because people ask me, you're going to play Splatoon 3 DLC? And I'm like, no.
There's a roguelike mode?
Yeah, and it's like, there is Splatoon 3 DLC, and there is this drought, and for some reason, I just don't have much interest in the Splatoon 3 stuff.
And it's a roguelike mode in the DLC.
Yes. Oh, you got activated, didn't you?
I'm going to check this out. I had no idea.
You should check it out.
If I did know about this, I completely forgot.
I don't really know what that means. People just said that to me, but I could definitely see that working really well. But I guess I'm skeptical because I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
Yeah, maybe.
It came out at a bad time. We were reviewing a bunch of our stuff, but I want to play it too, being a Splatoon guy. It's like, my understanding is you climb a tower, and it is sort of like roguelike where you're like clearing the floors. It's like Tartarus, Mike. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Hey, Sean, did you see that Metaphor Fantasia is not going to have romances, but you still make friends. No, you know what? Look,
get the fuck out of here.
You can't give me a pink-haired bunny girl and expect me not to get horned up on main for her, all right? Come on.
Here's my thing. If it was gonna be like Persona romances, I'm like, just don't. It's always weird to me. Even in Reload and even in 5, it's like, you made this person your girlfriend. Now let's never talk about that again, except Christmas, maybe. Right? Like that's special dialogue. Nothing changes in the ending. It's like, man, you couldn't be a couple things here and there.
Atlas is bad at romance, so they could have gone one of two directions. They either could have gotten better at it, but they went in the opposite direction of just getting rid of it entirely. So sure, whatever.
What do you think, Jeff? Where's Jeff?
Hey, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm back. You know who I heard on the radio today? I'm changing subjects for no reason. Reb Ford. She was on NPR today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did The Indicator. Where she talked about Forever games. It was really well done.
Cool.
Yeah, good job.
I was on the Canadian version of NPR in a written story.
I was on the Chinese version of BBC World Service. Talk about that a lot.
That's fun. We should be on NPR. Can we make that a goal?
I am a little frustrated. It's like I had that show, How Games Make Money, inspired by The Indicator, and then they're doing a video game week, and I'm like, you didn't fucking call me. What the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been slighted.
The Rebirth Wolf says, played through the Dragon Quest trilogy on Switch mainly, and expecting to do a lot of backlog this year with games like Astral Chain and the Splatoon games. Also waiting for 1,000 Year Door. I do kind of want to play so I played Dragon Quest 3, which is very good. I know Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are much simpler games, but I kind of want to play them. There's something about playing Dragon Quest 1, which is very simple. There's just one character, there's no party even, but it's the first JRPG. I feel like I should just go through that for funsies. I bet I would still have a good time.
Yeah, but you can't romance the pink-haired bunny girls, so what's the fucking point?
Boo,
you romance the slime.
You see, Dan in chat says he's going to get on NPR before you.
Dan?
Yeah.
I mean, to be clear, I would not be surprised if he did. Yeah, I could see that happening. Colorado Knights of the Old Republic says reinstalled Stardew Valley because I thought you like that. You like
That's good.
Yeah. Reinstalled Stardew Valley because I thought the 1.6 update had hit Switch, but it hadn't. Did stop me from playing it another 20 hours over the last month. Otherwise, still trying to 100% Balatro, playing a little bit before bed every night. I bet Balatro is taking up a lot of people's time. It is good to have something like Balatro hit.
It's the right game for the end of this life cycle, right? Where it's like, oh, this could just be the game I always have ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, and people are saying play 5. I played Dragon Quest 5. I got that DS remake, and it's very good. They should put more Dragon Quests on Switch. They should put 5.
Yeah.
Because I think 1, 2, 3. And basically they poured over iOS versions of them, which kind of are ugly, but they work. That's what I played 3 on, and we're getting the 3 remake. Then otherwise it's just 11 and the ports of Dragon Quest Builders, which I'm not sure how those work on Switch.
Yeah, it feels like the kind of thing in this wait to getting this 3 remake, they should have just done a pixel remaster version of Dragon Quest on the Switch.
Yeah, I agree. T-Money, input name here says, I tend to drop tactics games before the 20-hour mark, but the suspend feature on the Switch is helping me with the grind in Unicorn Overlord. Now to decide which army unit will be my wife. And we get to do that. Ooh, who do I want to? Okay, I'm going to start thinking about this now. Ooh, there's
not
so
the
many
Foxtail girl?
No, sorry, Sean. No, not the Fox lady. It'll probably be a human. I know, I'm boring. T-Money OG says, I recently beat Final Fantasy 1 for the first time and started 2. I'm glad so many people are going through the pixel remasters. I know when they first launched, I was skeptical of them, and there were things about them not great. They are in very good shape now, I think. I think these are, at least 1 through 5, I haven't done 6 yet, are fantastic ways to play those games. And yeah, I think it makes playing even those really old NES ones a ton of fun. They're kind of light and breezy, very pleasant podcast games for sure. I love the Pixel Remaster collection. Teriyaki Blue says, the only times I picked up the Switch in 2024 is to play some F-Zero 99 on some lazy weekend mornings. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. We need to do more of that. They added a lot of content since
they added a bunch more tracks,
played. Yeah, that was a fun game.
That game rules.
Johnny Boy says, I haven't been playing many games at all this year. I did, however, pick up Persona 4 Golden on sale earlier this year and been going through that for the first time on Switch. I'm probably not playing Persona 4 again until we get the inevitable remake of that, which I hope isn't too long. Because I love Persona 3 Reload. That's probably, I think, my new favorite Persona game. But when I liked Persona 4 base more than Persona 3 base. So if 4 gets that remake treatment, I will be very excited for that. Vision 49 says, this is my first Shiren the Wanderer game, and I think it might be one of the best roguelikes ever made. This year was front-loaded, and yet it's still wild to me that this game isn't talked about more. I know Bailey Myers has been playing this a lot, Jeff.
Yeah, I know people loved Shiren the Wanderer back in the day on the DS, I want to say.
There was a DS one, right. And I think so this is, the Mystery Dungeon game, the roguelike. I do want to check this out. I have only heard good things from the people who do like it. So yeah, that's one that I forget about. When I was thinking about this just now when we did this, I didn't think about it until it came up here, but that is one I should be checking out. It looks fun.
Yeah. I wonder if it's on Steam.
It almost certainly has to be, you would hope. Dr. Ryan says, the only thing I played on Switch so far this year is a bunch of Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars. There may have been some discussions about the ethics of stealing stars. That is always a very interesting, I don't know if lesson is the word, but moment for children.
Yes.
When their star is stolen from them for the first time.
Yep. They don't know about the real world.
They kind of do.
They kind of do. That one I'm on board with the shitty people on Twitter where it's like, yeah, they kind of do have to just realize that, listen, you literally just stole coins from them. What do you expect? Of course they're stealing stuff from you now, too. Like, turnabout's fair play. You have the most. Like, this is all fair. And nope, just cry. And I'm like, well, maybe we can't play Mario Party is the thread I had to use.
But you can't be mean to me. I'm the special.
Right, exactly. And
it's like this. It's just every child. It's just the way that it works, right? They children get very sensitive when they feel targeted. And it's like, yeah, we're targeting you. Absolutely.
That's right. You're in the lead.
Like, it's going to happen. Sorry. Weisman says, aside from F-Zero 99, I've only played one game on my Switch this year, Palia. It's a pretty good farming MMO that has been my wife, they even wrote out my wife, obsession. And I will log on a few times a week to help collect resources for her. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Remember on the Bombcast when I just explained a joke that was in TED 2?
Yeah, that you gotta say, one of the better times that someone's just explained a joke from something. You did a good job.
Was that bad content? You could tell
it was
buddy.
Still bad content, but you did a good job.
It's just like, let me explain a joke from Ted 2. Like, I'm your fucking uncle.
Right, and you started by like Ted 2, and we're all like, does he really mean Ted 2? Is that's what's got you off on the right foot, I think.
Okay, well, good. Yeah. Just making sure. I never played Palia. Don't know.
Yeah, I was like interested in it, but it's like one of those mini games where it's like, or collect resources, farming. And I'm like, that's probably not the one I'm gonna play.
Hammond of Texas says, I 100%ed Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Mario vs. Donkey Kong, and at some point I need to go back and finish Tears of the Kingdom. Wow, that Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake came out, and that's the first time that came up in here, huh?
Yeah, I have that. I kind of want to play more of it, but I'm not gonna.
It's so weird. It's so funny. Me and you love Donkey Kong 94, and this game is just the direct sequel to it. They remade it, and I just couldn't care less.
It's not as good.
It's just not as good. Days and Man 2 says mostly backlog. Prince of Persia, Penny's Big Breakaway, Theater Rhythm and also came across this neat game, Chance of Sonar. I know you played a bit of Chance of Sonar, right?
I played a bit of it. I beat this game. It was in my top 10 last year.
Oh, there you go then. That's right. This is that game. This is that game. That's
this game owns hard, and I think you would enjoy it, Mike. I think so.
I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would. I tell you what, I could just go back and play more Theater Rhythm also. I was actually liking that a lot last year. If last year wasn't last year, that could have been a top 10 game for me. I enjoyed it so much. Maybe I should play some more Theater Rhythm. That'd be fun. B says, I wish I was playing my Switch more. Mario RPG was really fun, and Unicorn Overlord was great, but I got bored of Unicorn Overlord at 25 hours. Moved back to my Steam Deck for Yakuza 0, but I will go back to my Switch at some point. Man, Yakuza 0 is something on my backlog that I do really want to play soon. Everyone talks about how good that one specifically is. It came up when we were doing the Sega Mount Rushmore, I believe. Actually, Jeff, while you weren't here, that came up a lot. I think did we put it on there, Sean, or did Yakuza 0 not make it?
Yeah, Yakuza 0 was the modern Sega representative.
That's right. It made it on our Mount Rushmore, and I'm like,
that's probably right.
Yeah, I do. Well, we did a good job. Don't worry.
Okay.
Jeff, did you see the Mount Rushmore?
I think I did see it, but I don't remember it.
It was Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
Yeah, Virtua Fighter, Crazy Taxi, and Yakuza 0.
That's pretty good. That's sound. I think I would probably be in that same ballpark.
Yeah. We just barely didn't put on Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah, right. It was just rough because we were trying to do different eras, and you already have a Genesis game, and of course the one Genesis game is going to be a Sonic the Hedgehog, but
yeah, Streets of Rage is not going to make a Mount Rushmore.
Warden Cliff says my Switch is kind of falling apart these days, so I've mostly just gone back to old favorites like Celeste and Super Mario 64.
Build quality on Switch is pretty good still, but it's not up to the snuff of like past Nintendo hardware. I'm sure like a lot of people's works better than mine, where like mine does get beaten up because I have kids. But yeah, I've gone through more Switches than I would have expected to.
Next one is from Super Harmon. Says, turned my Switch on the other day to download the Europa demo, and I realized I hadn't touched it since finishing another Code recollection in February. I intend to go back to Dragon Quest Monsters at some point, but I have been too busy with other games. Europa was something from the indie world that looked interesting. Jeff, did you ever check that one out in the demo?
I forgot that there was a demo. I really want to. Yeah, it looks really fascinating. Kind of open world with really strong locomotion vibes, where like the kid is riding the wind and stuff like that. Yeah, I will check this out. I forgot there was a demo.
Yeah, it's like the game kind of has like both some like Breath of the Wild vibes, but also just more 3D platforming vibes, and I kind of hope it's more 3D platformer. Personally, that's what I would enjoy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind like having like things that you could stumble across in like a slightly open world, but it doesn't need to be full on. Yeah, there's a demo on Steam. I'm just going to download it here. There we
go. Next one here is from Adam GC, who says, my Switch has been mostly an NSO machine these days, specifically shouting out Gunstar Heroes, which, if you ask me, like, what are like the 5 best games you can play on NSO right now, Gunstar Heroes might be on there. Such an incredible game.
Gunstar
Probably even more so than any of the Contras, even though they're obviously very good ones. I think Gunstar Heroes is the best like 2D run and gun.
Whenever I'm being shitty about Sega games, and Mike's like, "Well, you just don't like Genesis. You were a Nintendo fanboy." I'm like, "Well, I liked Gunstar Heroes." That's my
I'm
defense.
like, well, gotta give it to him. He likes Gunstar Heroes and Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah,
that's 2 games.
That's 2 right there.
Then, like many years later, I showed him Shinobi 3. He's like, "Yeah, that's good too."
That's a very fun game.
Yeah, Shinobi 3 rules. Matt Rare, next game here, says, "I was behind from last year, so working through Pikmin and Tears of the Kingdom." That's the first time Tears of the Kingdom came out. I can think a lot of people just who wanted to play that game has played that game already. Huh?
Yeah, someone above said they wanted to get back to it, but yeah, now they're actively working through it. Yeah, I think people just played that game, right? I mean, that was like what you were playing on Switch last year.
And unlike Breath of the Wild, it didn't get DLC, and it's not getting DLC, right? So,
right, exactly.
Like a Dylan Infinite Wealth says, 200 hours of Balatro is totally fine, right? 100% collection, completed all challenges, win on each stake, win with each deck, and I still play Standout. Man, the fact that you're still playing is incredible. Like, you've done everything. Wow.
I really do think it's a kind of game where you probably can play it forever if you find some joy in it. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Fudsex says the Europa demo. There you go. Someone else checking that out. Breadfish says, maybe the most 7 out of 10 game I've ever played in my life. It's another code, Recollection.
There it is.
Recollection.
Yeah, that one's a play on words. That one also means that the power is out.
Yeah, that one is actually that.
Yeah.
Hey, you were on the Trivia Tower. I started watching it. You guys, I see you guys chose to not talk about the power dressing.
Yeah, he was trying to do the Blitz version of his show, and I didn't want to like cause any pauses because he was trying to like get through it fast as an experiment. So we did not have time, but we'll have him on something soon on Bomb.
We'll find a way to scream at Ben Hansen. Don't worry. Josh L. Page just finished this last night. Absolutely loved it. It is a Unicorn Overlord. There you go. Big Tony, the Final Fantasy guy, says, my dog's still on the grind of playing every Final Fantasy game this year, currently on 6, but also got sidetracked with Balatro like many others. I am so happy so many people are playing Final Fantasy games, old Final Fantasy games. That's nice. Yep. Good on you.
A good platform to do it on.
Yeah, you should follow their example, Jeff.
Fuck no.
Willow Davis says, I got the Pokemon DLC, haven't finished it. Got the Splatoon 3 DLC, haven't finished it. Splatoon 3 DLC is actually quite fun. Pokemon DLC is tragically bad, but even more tragically, I'm having fun with it. Yeah, I guess I didn't know how people thought about the fucky doos of Area Zero or whatever that Pokemon DLC was called. I had no interest in it. I never played a main gen game less than I played of Scarlet and Violet, so it's sad. Sean, I don't know, did you play that DLC for Scarlet and Violet?
No, that is like number 1 on my backlog after I get done with all the stuff that came out this year, because I was waiting until the second half of DLC came on. That came out in like December, and since then we've had nonstop games. So I'll get around to it and report back to you.
Okay, Christian, do you want us to take another break, or should we start doing the last couple segments?
Little break.
Here? Little break here, everybody.
We finish.
Little bricky break. We'll be right back.
All right.
I cannot shake the feeling that I skipped somebody, but I don't think I did.
I was reading along, and I think we
were both from. I think I didn't. I don't know why I got in my head.
You got Lenny Cool Dick Denver.
Outside of that one, I think you got our one after that.
Okay, yeah. I think we're probably good. If you're in chat and I missed yours and you're here, yell at me.
Did you mention Freedom McLiberty Ball's image? Because all they had was an image.
What is the image of?
It's Paper Mario. Yeah.
I think we talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you did.
Because that's the one where I was like, I think he might have, but I wasn't fully paying attention. I was like getting stuff set up in OBS, and so I just thought you might have skipped that one. But so if you got that one, then we're good.
Maybe I did skip that one.
Okay. Well, you can bring it up
real quick.
We did skip over Benji Bop's typo pocket pair jockey.
Yeah, I did. I was like, there was no opportunity to bring it up. Yeah,
that jackass playing all his Pal World pocket pair.
You know
pocket pair. Yeah,
because this is specifically okay. I got this. All
okay.
Right.
Bring it back.
We are back. I forgot to bring up Freedom McLiberty Ball. Specifically said that they are playing the first Paper Mario on NSO, which makes sense. Do that before a Thousand Year Door remake. It does come out. You are set to go there. So sorry about that, Freedom, but I got you on the back end. Jeff, what have you been playing? Any Nintendo games recently? I mean, the kids are all about Yoshi. You tweeted you were all three playing Yoshi games at the same time at one point.
Yeah. I was playing Yoshi's Island. I think Emmy was deep into Yoshi's. I think this is Woolly World on the 3DS with the Poochies, where they re-released it on the 3DS, and Poochies are there helping you the whole time. And she was really into that. And then I think Addie was playing Crafted World. And it was really nice. So yeah, we were kind of having a sort of a Nintendo day where we were bouncing around between stuff, and lots of Mario Kart and then a lot of Smash Brothers and stuff like that. And they kind of like just like, okay, we played that for an hour, now let's go to the next thing. And yeah, that was a really good time. But like that is what I'm doing with Nintendo stuff at the moment when I'm not not doing this like review games here or there, but it's mostly just like, okay, the kids want to do stuff. Yeah, I'm going to hop into that for sure. And that's been working for me. So nothing really new. I want to get back to more Unicorn Overlord. I'm excited to hear that you just like ripped right through that demo like for 7 hours. And like, I'm like, oh, okay. Because I'm like, I think I really like that game quite a bit. And hearing that you like it that much, I'm like, that gives me encouragement that it's worth sticking with.
Yeah, I'm playing it a ton, like even a faster pace than with Persona. Like I like Persona 3 Reload more, and maybe it's just because I was playing the ROG Ally, so like that battery would die after an hour, and I could plug it in, but I was like, that's a good time to stop. But here, like I play through a lot of this game each day, and I am already like 12 hours in or something like that. Just blazing through. It's a pretty fast pace, you know. Something that drove me crazy Fire Emblem Engage was that after every battle, there was like a whole laundry list of chores that you had to do at your home base, and it was kind of annoying and slow. And there's stuff you can do in between battles here, but that stuff is pretty snappy. It's also, I love that there's a big overworld, right? Not enough games have overworlds anymore. So I like the whole kind of battlefield is this one big map, and you can kind of walk around. You can do little side quests here or there, or you can like go, to this place and buy some things. But a lot of that stuff isn't too intense. Most of the intense, deep mechanics are just related to fighting, and that's what you are spending the vast majority of your time doing.
Yeah, that sounds just right to me. I'm like more of an Engaged defender than most people. And even I was like, well, I stopped playing that game because the chores in between the awesome tactics. It was just not worth it at a certain point. So hearing that they make that stuff snappy, it's like, okay, yeah, lesson learned by another studio. I'm glad someone realized it's like, you can have that stuff. It does break up the pacing. It keeps things interesting. Sure. Just don't drag it out, please.
Right. And even like the Fire Emblem-esque like relationship stuff. I like it's here. But it's like not a huge deal. It's not as important as a Fire Emblem, and I kind of like that in some degree. That I'm not really thinking about that constantly like I do with every Fire Emblem game. It's like, all right, I got to make sure that these two have a little tea party now. So
right, yeah,
it was cute for a while, Fire Emblem, but like a little over that now, and I suppose. But yeah, Unicorn Overlord is just hitting with me. It is such a gorgeous game. I find the tactics of it to be really interesting. The progression is nice. At first, it was like, okay, so there's no place to really grind. That's a little concerning because you beat a battle and the battle's gone. You do find these side quests that are repeatable missions. So there's like a level 6 one, a level 10 one, and so on and so forth. So it's like, okay, now if I really want to, especially if like there's a unit I'm not using enough in battle and it's falling behind or something like that, okay, I can go over here. I can grind experience. I can grind the honors or whatever that you need to use to expand your kind of unit size, which is important. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of firing off all cylinders for me. It's hitting for me harder than I thought it would.
Yep, I'm glad to hear that. That is very exciting as someone who's enjoying that demo.
Yeah, and like the story, it's not like there's anything crazy there, but it's being done well enough. It's simple, which works fine for me. It's not. I just see J. Arthur in chat saying, story's not great. Engage was better. I like this story better. Engage's story was just and I hate saying it like this because it sounds reductive, and I wish I was better. Engage was very anime, right? A bit much so for me, and I wish I had better words for it than that. So even though Unicorn Overlord is maybe less ambitious, it just works better for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be spending more time with that for sure. I think the only other thing I've been doing on Switch is I deleted my save of Super Mario Brothers Wonder so I could play it again. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna mainline that or anything, but I really love that game. And so going back to it and just playing that whole game 100% again over the next couple of weeks, that sounds like a great time to me.
You know, I forgot. I'm looking at this video. I forgot that Iggy Wrecking Balls was a racing game. Actually,
yeah, I was trying to remember exactly what it was like, and I'm like, I think it's some weird game.
I remember that it was like kind of 2.5D stuff. I forgot that it was like a kind of a racing thing.
Right,
it's a weird game.
Dan's mentioned this mini shoot adventures in chat. He says he's instantly loving it. It's overwhelmingly positive on Steam with 1,000 reviews. 1,400 reviews.
So that was one of the games in the like montage of Indie World, right?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one that's a Metroidvania looking thing.
But where you play
twin
a
stick
ship?
shooter.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Oh boy. There's a demo on Steam. Okay. Look at this thing.
Yep. I just added it to my account. Yeah, I'll start this. That sounds great, Dan.
Okay, yeah, that does look pretty nice, actually. Okay, oh, yeah, there's some bullet hell stuff going on, too. That's fun.
Yeah, more things should just be Metroidvanias. They really should.
Yeah, now I'm trying to remember this was actually on Indie World, or this is unrelated to that. But whatever, yeah, this looks very nice. I don't know, I don't know. It kind of looks like a Flash cartoon to me.
Dan. Oh, no.
Okay, how does this not remind you of Newgrounds, but for some reason, Hollow Knight was so offensively Newgrounds-esque. It's just whatever. It's fine.
He's shoot hot.
Please don't say that I'm mad.
Please don't put in the papers that I got mad.
Please don't put in the papers that I got mad. Oh, Hollow Knight looks like, my leg will get me mad. Jeff, I think we have a few more super chats.
Yeah, I got them right here. Let's get to, okay, Willow Davis said too late, the furries are coming from Mike, right? And then I think it's Crouching Boomer Hidden Zoomer who says, Final Fantasy Theatrhythm has been my go-to game for Switch, if only to practice for my arcade visits. Man, there's a arcade version of Theatrhythm?
Yes, and it was actually they had it at the kind of mini pop-up arcade they had at Awesome Games Done Quick. So I got to play it there, and it was super fun. But yeah, Theatrhythm is great stuff.
Wish there was like a Theatrhythm for like Thin Lizzy.
Right.
Like the Beatles.
The game we were talking about everyone a moment ago is Mini Shoot Adventures, by the way.
Yeah, Mini Shoot Adventures.
Which advertised itself as a mix of Zelda, Metroidvania, and bullet hell. So there you go.
Is that for shoot or is that for Mini Shoot?
That's what they said. Like literally in the trailer playing right now, they said that. I know, right? Just like, yeah, it's a lot of good things.
All right. Crouching Boomer Hidden Zoomer is back. It says, having kids, LMAO. Yeah, look, I get it.
Can you imagine being such a fucking loser that you propagate?
I made mistakes, all right?
Elon Musk would be happy with you at least.
Yeah, God, well. Those fucking weird stuff, just like, population, we're not having enough kids. It's like,
he's such. I think he just straight up said that people who don't have kids shouldn't have as much rights or something one time. Something weird like that.
God, he's so fucking stupid.
It's
so
a lot.
Dumb.
Allie Miracle says, streamer dad Jeff Gerstmann wasn't on my bingo this year for gaming headlines. Yeah. Dexerto's got a whole thing with headlines.
Yeah, they suck.
Chris Pratt.
Just kidding.
Chris Pratt says, Miyamoto gave me Mario Wonder, so I've been playing all year. Can't beat that first level, but man, it reminds me of stomping those Woopas in the Mario arcade.
It'd be so funny if Chris Pratt couldn't beat the first level. My biggest issue with Wonder is that's a little too easy.
Oh God! Chris Pratt keeps coming back with the same those Woopas are like, and I'm like, every time it's gonna get
every
me.
Time
it makes me laugh every time.
It is in fact good. I'm gonna see if this Mini Shoot Adventures is actually a Switch game or not. If it's just on Steam right now.
Allie Miracle says Ben Starr could convince me to play anything. Heart emoji. Yeah, Ben Starr's a real sweetheart.
Yeah, Ben Starr's. It's always nice. It's nice seeing him at things. I think Mini Shoot Adventures is only a Steam joint at the moment. Actually.
Well,
I get on the Roger.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it up. L. Grug says, random question, but is all of Mike's luggage Disney themed? Was that Don Quixote in Akihabara, and they had that next to the whiskey and Kirby shoes?
Yeah. So last Christmas,
I gave you my heart.
I gave you my heart.
Yeah.
I just realized that too. My dad's like, oh, what do you want? It's like, I actually need new luggage because my one was. Were you there? I think you were there. Actually, my luggage was falling apart. So I need luggage. And I specifically said, he was like, don't get me the Disney themed ones. Like, look, I would like it, But look, I'm going to be traveling. I got to be kind of everyone's going to ask me about it. Just get me some normal looking.
Oh, man. The rare look into Mike's shame existing just a tiny bit.
I just don't want to do it. just get me normal luggage. Like, I would like Mickey Mouse luggage. I'm not going to lie, but just this one time, it's fine. Just some normal professional blue luggage or something is okay. And I got a fun tag for it. I actually got a tag at Cheers, so I have a good luggage tag. But yeah, the luggage itself is just blue.
Luggage. It's like you can have a little bit of fun with the luggage tag. All right, I get that. All right.
Yeah, my judgment corner for myself. There you go.
Big Fresh 37 says today is John Cena's birthday. He wants you to play Captain Toad.
Oh man, if he wants me to, then I better do it.
If John Cena Ben Starr came and told me to play it, I would.
People are mean about John Cena's bald spot, and I get sad. It's like, look, he's 47. Give him a break.
Yeah,
It is a little. Look, I get it. It's a little weird to see John Cena with a big bald spot.
I think it's more what it is, right? Is like John Cena is this constant in so many people's lives, and like to see evidence of his aging right before you and be like, oh man, that's like so obvious to me as someone watching on TV. First of all, why can't he notice? And people don't think about tops of heads. And then to just like, oh, that means I'm old too. And it's like, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Also, he looks awesome.
He looks, of course he does.
Looks incredible.
Yeah.
I will say, I think I don't like, a lot of people just shave their heads. I shave my head. I don't think John Cena should just shave his head. I don't know.
Yeah. I bet he looks pretty good with the shaved head though. Once he starts doing it. Again, that toupee account on YouTube Shorts is my favorite thing. Everyone's so nice and sweet, and everyone looks so good, and the men look so happy when they get done getting their toupees. It's really nice.
Don't tempt me.
I'll send it to you because I think you'll be like, because the way they like glue it on there and it like stays on for like weeks at a time or something like that. So I think you get used to it. Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
I'm like, I'm at a point in my life where I started losing my hair. I'm like, I would consider this, and I never would have thought that before. Big Fresh 37 says not on Switch yet, but big update to Tape today. They added a soccer team to play hockey against.
Puck?
Hang on, I'm sorry. I just got a thing that my OBS disconnected. But I'm.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
We should be back.
I think we're back though.
I think we're back. It says reconnection successful. Are we back, chat?
It looks like we're back.
It looks like you're back. Yeah.
Okay,
that was hiccup there,
weird. That was a hiccup. OBS gave me like the warning and everything, like disconnected and reconnected. Okay, cool. All right, we'll just keep going then.
All right.
All right, and then Abandoned House Shark says, "Hey Jeff, new to your stream. Any rumblings about Monster Hunter Wilds? I mean, not anything that you haven't heard elsewhere. And there's that one Capcom leaker that you should just like pay attention to what they're saying. They're always on point with that stuff. That there's not a real reason to sort of try to fudge that stuff because they're going to get all the deets. So I think we're expecting it relatively soon though. Like that's something
it's supposed to be coming in 2025 is what their site says right now.
Yes, so we should hear about it. I think we hear more about it like this summer.
I mean, it could show up at Summer Game Fest or it could show up at Game Awards, one of those things.
Yep. Chris Quinton says, off topic, but have either of you watched the movie Nimona? It's an amazing animated movie about a shape-shifting little girl. It's so far up your alley, Mark. Mike. It's parked. That's where it was parked. It's parked in your garage. You both would love it. I think I've heard great things about it, but I haven't watched it.
How do you spell that?
Nimona. M-O-N-A.
Nimona. 2023. Okay. Yeah, I do need to check this out. Oh, it looks very cute.
Okay, let's see. Let's go with Crouching Boomer, Hidden Zoomer's back once again. Can't see John Cena's hair. That's all it is. That's why there's a bald spot there, because you can't see the hair. And then Chris Quinton back with a big $50 drop. Thank you so much, Chris. Do you guys think Dan will beat Superman tomorrow? Jeff, will you be helping him or helping him so you can prolong before it's your turn again? What do you think your game is going to be? Listen, I didn't read the comments, Mike, but the people did not get that we were like having him go on a fool's errand with that.
Well, there was that one time, but otherwise, I mean, look, there was a lot of times where I was offering help. There was, and I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of outcomes like they're helping too much. Like that was the overriding opinion of it. And I don't know. I guess I won't help next week at least. I am of the I'm of the opinion, like, look, me telling Dan where I think he should go next is not some great help. And I think I don't really want to watch Dan be lost in some fucking Nintendo 64 maze. I don't know. There are a lot of people who still like are mad because Dan was mean to me on Mortal Kombat Mythologies. I was just like, it was funny. He's like, no, you need to get revenge on Dan now.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not how I live my life. Everybody.
It's like Dan wouldn't get revenge either because he would forget. If we did like something mean to him in this game, he would forget by the time he could do something about it. The whole thing is a curse. We're playing bad games. That's the bad part.
Hey, look, like, I do want to see Dan beat Superman 64. Actually, so look, maybe I'll ease off a little bit. I'll let him struggle longer, and maybe next episode I just won't at all.
I don't think it's going to be a problem this episode. I think we could be helping, and it's going to be miserable. I think for this next level,
it's going to probably be absolutely miserable. Yeah, but yes, Dan and I are both very excited about Grubb's next game. That is for sure.
I got a fucking package to my house addressed to Jeff Grubb (parentheses Blight Club). It's fucking sitting over there. I hate this.
It's exciting.
It's so good. It's so good.
What was the worst one you've done so far? You think you've done a few games now?
I played Bubsy 3D. I did Ride to Hell Retribution, and I did Batman Dark Tomorrow.
Yep, those are your 3 games.
The worst one in terms of like how I was feeling by the end was Ride to Hell. Because that was like that. Once that one started to drag, it really dragged, and
it did drag. It got a little sluggish, didn't it?
Yeah, and that's a rough place to be in a Blight Club game. Like I'm still glad we played it. We needed to get through that. And some games, some of them are gonna slog. That's gonna happen. But that is for me an especially rough place to be. Bubsy 3D is like really inane, and that's frustrating too. But I think Ride to Hell is probably the worst one.
All right. Again, more super chats?
Yeah, one more super chat from Burrito. I respect your decision to help Dan, but you are firmly in the Mike backpedal zone for that.
Welcome. Plenty of room there.
I'm just like, what am I playing?
What's your guess? What's your guess right now? I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong.
My official guess is not Space Marines. What's that bad N64 shooter? Project Swarm. Armorines. That's my official guess. But I'm like,
because you just watched that 64 shooter video that I told you about. The guy got insufferable.
The guy got insufferable pretty quick. Yeah. And then I'm like worried that you guys like we've talked a lot about Daikatana, and I'm worried that like you guys are gonna throw it on me because I was like really trying to play the idea of like you guys playing them back to back, and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna avoid Daikatana, not realizing that my turn was coming up next. So now I'm worried about that. But other than that, I don't know.
I wonder if like maybe if Dan beats it tomorrow, we'll give you like the platform hints that we like to give sometimes. But otherwise,
we'll see. Yeah. We'll see in the afterglow of defeating Superman, like what we're thinking. So yeah,
which might not happen next week because it's like this last level is supposed to be a bitch.
Chuck Towski says, first time, long time. Love you. Also, I feel like Blight Clubs are best when they're horrible. Yes, but a spectacle even more.
Right. Like, I don't think anybody's favorite part of Blight Club is like, oh, Dan didn't know what to do for 30 minutes. It's he got there and some bullshit happened.
Exactly. And thank you, Chuck Towski, for your first super chat. All right. That does it for the super chats, Mike. Back to you.
Well, then, I think that's a show. And sometimes you simply know when you just recorded the worst podcast in history. This is one of those times. That was fun, Jeff.
Yeah. I'm going to hit the music.
Yeah, thank you for doing a podcast with me. But yes, tomorrow.
Anytime, bud.
We do have Blight Club. It's popping off at 3 p.m. Eastern. So that'd be fun.
Is music coming through 2 buses, everybody? Yeah.
I just hear the one.
Okay.
I just hear the one.
All right.
Let's cruise. And what else? You're playing more Fallout New Vegas tomorrow, right?
That's right. I'm going to be playing more Fallout New Vegas. And then on Thursday, we'll be back with Game Mess Decides, of course. But then we'll do a grab bag, and we're going to be playing a lot of the games we've been talking about recently. So we'll play Tales of Kenzera Zao and probably some Stellar Blade, stuff like that. Oh, and I'm going to have Emron on tomorrow to talk about Stellar Blade because reviews will be dropping.
Oh, God. That's happening tomorrow, huh?
Yep, that's tomorrow. Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yep, looking forward to it.
All right.
Fun times.
Yeah, good stuff. It was incredible with Dan before the podcast. He was just talking about like Stellar Blade. He's like, yeah, but it's all that stuff. He's like, what stuff? I was like, oh, damn it.
Bye, everybody. It's a blast. We all come.
Most people are beating it right now.
I beat it.
You beat it. Jesus.
It's so frustrating when the game makes you edge. There's a whole discussion happening now.